with the straw and all that. Don't do that no more. Okay. All right, I'm gonna check on here and see. All right, so I can see both of us on the screen.
Okay. As long as they can see us both, I guess, we're good.
All right. Okay. I'm trying to. Okay, I shared it, so I'm trying to give people the opportunity to come in because right now it's just that one person watching is my iPad right now. So,
Okay.
ooh, uh oh, okay. Um, so we're hello, hello, hello. I think we have someone coming. Come in. I'm trying to find the rest of the groups to share it in. All right. Well, you want to start? You want me to start?
You can start.
Alrighty.
Are we live? We're live.
Yeah, we're live. We've been live for like 3 minutes now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being so patient. Those of you who are going to join in later, hello to the people late coming. This is the welcome back live for the Sickle Cell Experience live. Um, we've been gone a minute, but we back. We back in it. So I just wanted to say a special thank you for all of those lovely people who been wanting to see us and being very patient about it. I guess I'll jump right in. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Shabreon Howard. I am the co-founder and co-host of the Sickle Cell Experience Live. I'm a writer, um, photographer, filmmaker, all of the above. I am an all around creative being. I'm a single mother of a beautiful, oh, I almost said 7. She's 8 now. 8-year-old little girl. And I'm also the child of a sickle cell warrior as well. Um, so that is who I am in a nutshell. And I will pass it on to my partner.
Hello, everybody. I'm Marissa Course, fifth generation sickle cell patient and co founder and co host of the Sickle Cell Experience. Thank you for joining us. We've been gone for like 5 months, but we're back. Yay. It's very strange to be here. I forgot almost what it's like to be live. Um, but we're going to get used to this again, slowly but surely. At any rate, let's let them know what we have planned for this year. This being our first live of 20, 2022.
2022. Oh, I just don't like that. I don't like it.
It doesn't sound right. It doesn't flow right.
2022. I feel like it's trying to do a repeat of 2020. Is all I'm saying.
Pretty much. This is true.
I don't need that type of negativity in my life. Nobody does. Um, well, I figured in order for us to talk about where we're going, we have to talk a little bit about where we've been. So we're just going to recap people on our year last year. You know, what was the best thing? What was the worst thing? Um, what are we the proudest of? And what is one lesson we could take from last year? Best, worst, proud, lesson. Yeah, that's what I said. Hmm.
Okay. All righty. Okay. Uh, well, last year was a very interesting year. Uh, I don't know if we were coming down from the pandemic, if we were just getting used to being in the pandemic. I'm not really quite sure what the status was like officially last year. I just kind of felt like everybody was in limbo. But for me, the answers to all of those questions are hashtag stop sickle cell abuse, which is well, yeah, it's a campaign that we started almost a little over a year ago. Um, Basically, it is what it says it is. Stop sickle cell abuse. Stop the mistreatment, the dismissive, the disrespectful, degrading treatment of especially adult sickle cell patients in ERs and during hospital admission. Just it's very basic. And from that, we started developing advocates, which is our advocacy program. And I, it was the best because it has shown me what we can do as patients. Um, we started out with a very small core group, and then that grew. And as it grew, we began developing a medical program paired with an advocacy program. And together we started training people, patients, parents, people who are already advocates that wanted to enhance their skills. Um, and we're still here. So we're going to officially launch that program March 1st. For those of you who would like to join the program, contact me and I'll give you more information. This was the worst thing that I did last year because I learned a very valuable lesson, and that was only go into business with people that you are morally aligned with. Not just goals, but morally aligned with. If you are not morally aligned with the people that you are trying to step forward with, you not stepping forward. If anything, you are frustrated in stagnation and then kind of have to step back and rebuild. So that was a very valuable lesson I'm grateful for. And what's the other one? Best worst lesson.
Best, worst, lesson, and proudest.
And I am incredibly proud of what we've been able to build. Um, no, really, because it did. It started out as 4 steps. We said hashtag stop sickle cell abuse. We have a 4-step reporting system. Record, record what's happening to you, file a complaint, then take that complaint and report it to a third party, being the state medical board, your insurance company. If you're complaining about the hospital as a whole, the Joint Commission, and then you find the business pages, not the cookout page, not the family page, the business page. Okay. The business pages where you can rate these people and rate these businesses. And you take that same complaint report and you put it up on the business page in LinkedIn, on Google, wherever the business page lives, that's where you go and put your report. And basically, you put these things on blast simultaneously. And if you have video and you want to release that video out into the ether so that people can know what's happening to you and in relatively like real time, then we say go for that too. Because at the end of the day, um, not only do we have to put these things in writing and give them to the proper authorities, but at the end of the day, we need to let them see, let them see what we deal with. It's one thing to hear about somebody labeling you an addict or to hear about not being treated properly or not being given the proper medication. But the fact of the matter is that we are a very visual society, especially now with thanks to this. And we have a lot of technology at our fingertips, literally at our fingertips. Hi, I'm talking to it. Let them see, record it, put it out there. You can't turn away. But once you see, it's really hard to turn away. So that's all I got.
All right. Um, that was a lovely. Uh, you brought it all together, so thank you. Um, Last year, let me see. My best, um, I would say, memory about last year would have to be, hmm, I would say when I published my book because it was very scary, my poetry, um, because I was like in an internal struggle with how deep, because the title of the book was The Deepest Part of Me, right? The deepest parts of me. So it's like, oh, you can't really be shallow with that title, can't really go there and be like, oh no, it's okay. So I definitely poured everything out, or most of everything out, into that book. And my poetry, the stuff that I wrote, I challenged myself to write new poetry. I just want to say I challenged myself last year. I think that's the best thing I can say. With everything that I did, I didn't keep myself comfortable. I didn't keep myself in a nice groove that I, made for myself. I stepped outside of the box a lot, um, not just with the books, but just with all that I wanted to do, all that I had going on. I just felt like it was my moment to just do it instead of talk about it, instead of want to. I just was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. Um, so that I would have to say is one of the best memories. Um, One of the worst would be um just death and loss that I went through, growing pains, death, loss, having to reconcile with myself about a lot of things and people, and having to understand people for where they were in their journey. I think was like, I would say, you know, I would say that's the worst, like just the death and losing people and stuff like that. Um, then the proudest thing would have to be um just the consistency that I showed myself and others in things. Like sometimes you can have an idea and it fizzles out, and you're like, oh, that was fun, or oh, don't really, just don't stay consistent with things. And I just I saw a lot of things through to the end, or still going through it. The videos that I put out with the cooking, um, everything from the cooking to the completing of the advocacy program, because that was hard. I had a lot of Sundays where I was like, look, this ain't it, like, but I saw it through and I completed it. Just completing the book that I said I was going to publish, and I did everything, and not having to feel like everything had to be perfect, not putting the perfect pressure on, and saying, oh, it's not perfect, so I can't do it. Just doing it and releasing myself of the pressure that I tend to put on myself about things not being the exact I want them. I end up talking myself out of it, which is a great thing. I'm glad, that I do that a lot last year. Okay. Lesson that well, I think I learned a few lessons last year. But if I had to be specific on my lessons, it would probably be to provide myself with unfiltering love, not holding myself hostage of feeling like I deserve love, and not putting myself in this space of taking my love back from others just because, they don't fit this idea in my head of how they're supposed to be. So that was the lesson I learned. One of the lessons, a couple of them. So yeah, that was it. I think that's it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a lot.
it was, but it was definitely necessary for where I am right now today. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm so happy. Like, just like, so, like the purest level of happy. My heart is just like so light. I don't think it's ever been this light before. So I think all of last year was just building up to this moment of just this. So it's a good feeling. It's a great feeling. And I got some good news today too. So that's another good feeling. When, your health tries to take a turn and you turn it back. Yep. We're gonna get
Always
to
a
that later though. So yeah. Um you want to talk about what you have coming up? Well, I know you kind of touched upon it. Do you want to go into detail, or you want to talk about what we're doing here? Thank you, Dima. Appreciate you.
Um, I mean, for the most part, our focus um, is really just trying to build build our community and create a network for patients and their caregivers and the people that take care of us. I mean, at the end of the day, I learned a new term. It's called participatory medicine, and there's actually a nonprofit that we have aligned with, the Society for Participatory Medicine. And what that is, it's a group of patients, caregivers, advocates, medical professionals, who are all coming together and, for the most part, taking an oath to say that as patients, we will continue to give our doctors as much information as we can in order for them to treat us and help us when we go for care. And as doctors, saying, you know what, we don't want to operate from an imminence point of view, which means it's like they are the end all be all, and what you feel as a patient and what you have to say as an advocate is just unimportant. When in actuality, it could be the most important part of your care. So I'm very happy about that. I'm also just really, yeah, I think for the last few months, I've just really been looking at videos people have posted of them being like mistreated, or of them not being able to fully communicate with the people that, like, at the end of the day, we're forced to turn ourselves over to by law, right? Um, and it was just really upsetting, and it's really disheartening. We have a little boy. Well, he's not little. He's 19. He's not a little boy. I'm in my 40s, so I have to come back from that. I reconcile being in my 40s. My mother says I'm not supposed to tell my age, but it's something you should be grateful for. But no, we have a young man, 19, in Florida, that was physically escorted out of the hospital while actively admitted as a patient, not in ER, like on the floor, admitted. Went to go get his phone. Security officer, stops him and says, "Oh, you can't walk around without a mask." He's like, "Oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I'm a patient here. Yo, here's my bracelet. Here's the port in my neck. And I just come to get my phone." And the next thing he knows, he gets his phone and he's being like escorted to the exit. The fuck? That's my one for the year. Hi. Where they do that? You know, uh, we have other people, multiple people, that are putting videos up of doctors, saying things to them like, "Well, we gave you 0.5 milligram of Dilaudid, and that should be enough." Really? NIH and ASH have guidelines for a reason. And by the way, NIH and ASH, maybe we take those guidelines and make them actual rules and protocols. Just a thought. But seeing all of that for me was just not, it was a turning point. I mean, I've been seeing it for a while, I've been experiencing it myself for a while, but you just get to a point where you're just like, I'm done. So I guess I'm at a point where I'm done. And uh, I'm ready to take action. And that action is training people to be better advocates, helping people to find better and greater resources, and really building a network that is also, a community of safety, because there's no place in our medical system in this country where sickle cell patients are safe, and that's ridiculous. So that's kind of where I'm at. Um, and in concert, I guess, with that big thing, we want to break it down into smaller things. We want to talk about the pharmacy. I had a very horrible experience with a pharmacy that will remain nameless for right now, but ultimately a pharmacist decided that I didn't look
Look
like
like
I needed
I
the medication I was being given, and went out of their way to create a law that does not exist to claim that I broke as justification to fire me from the chain. Didn't have to call corporate, didn't have to engage a manager, just decided. Really? Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that this year. We're not, no. Uh, so when you add to that, if you aren't safe and outpatient, and it's a freaking war zone and a everyday battle inpatient, you know, where outside of your home and your loved ones can you fall back on to get care when you can't do it yourself anymore, and when the people who really love you and are suffering along with you can't help you. So again, I don't know. I think it's time for us to take as much control over our care as we possibly can, and it's time for us to take as much control over our image as sickle cell patients as we possibly can. At the end of the day, we're experts. If nothing else, we're experts in how sickle cell works in our own body. And when you're the person sitting in the bed or standing at that counter, that's kind of the only thing that really matters.
Yeah.
And constantly being characterized and painted as addicts and people who have no morals, no personal standards of care for themselves. I mean, and how could you not? You've been dealing with this your entire life. Of course, we have standards of care. People who don't have goals outside of just being in the hospital, because we go to the hospital for vacation. Um, like for real talk. Like,
I had to laugh at that one because ain't no way, dog. Ain't no way. There gotta be a better place
no,
than that. It gotta be. You can't
exactly.
tell
And,
me.
and it's kind of like, no one wants to be in a hospital, period. But I don't I don't know of anybody who has an addiction that is going to put themselves in a place where they have to be judged and they have to prove a need for care, and then to be told what you're going to be given, how you're going to be given it, when you're going to be given it, how much of it you're going to be given, when you have access to the amount of medication that we have access to at home. Like, clearly, I'm here because one, my pain is out of control, but two, because my pain is at a point where I can't do for myself anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need the help of all of the people that are employed in this institution. I need the people that cook for me. I need the people that clean for me. I need the people that come in and make sure that I'm taking my medication. I need the doctors to come in and actually, I don't know, physically assess and examine me. Don't just stand at the door. Don't be lazy, y'all. Y'all being lazy out there. Don't stand at the door and be like, oh, well, you look okay. I'm going to cut your medication, by 75%. See how you do. and then come back later and be like, I don't understand why you're hysterical. Maybe because now I can't trust you. A thought. Stop. So yeah, I'm completely for changing all of that this year. And again, if you want to get on board, hit me up and then we can move forward.
Yeah. Speaking of changing, I'm definitely there as well. I just wanted to take a different route a little bit. Same destination, just a different route. I just feel like, us as patients, we go through a whole lot, and sometimes, you know, things that we might deem as like, oh, that's not something that's going to help me. It's actually something that really helps you more in the long run. Like diet, you know. I don't know, for those of you who have me as Facebook friends, you've seen the videos. I've done a lot of, some of the videos are not healthy food because I'm not just a straight vegan or vegetarian, but I do eat a lot of vegan and vegetarian meals. And I feel like eating healthy is a big contributing factor to how you feel internally. I feel like what you put in your body is it matters. It's not something that's like, oh, I'm going to eat McDonald's for 2 weeks straight and nothing's going to happen to me. That's a lie. Okay? It's a lie. Somebody lied to you. Um, and I just want to help people see that there are other options. I want to show those other options by, the foods I make, the juices I make, because I'm also doing juicing, and I have a juicing group for those of you who would like to be added. Just you can put it in the comments or you can DM me. It's not a big group. It's just a group of people who are interested in having that connection and having that accountability partner. Now, um, it's not just for them, it's also for me. I'm not ashamed or afraid to admit players mess up, it's not always gonna be perfect. It's a marathon. It's not, you can't think that I have all the answers because I don't. I did a lot of research and I'm still doing a lot of research, and I'm able to help myself a lot along the way. So I just want to be able to give sickle cell patients that guidance and that love and that accountability partner that's necessary for their growth and their own, you know, betterment. So maybe we could stay out of the hospital a little bit more, and we don't got to deal with these crazy doctors. I'm not saying we'll never go, but I am saying if I can help you get from 5 visits a year to 4 or 3, I've done my job. I want to be able to help in any way that I can. And, I think that this is something is really on my heart to do. And whenever I have something on my heart, Marrisa, no, that's it. I can't deviate. It's just like boom, It's definitely, something that's not, it's not something I'm going to be able to let go of. And again, going back to last year, seeing things through, I feel like this is a perfect way to do that. I want to see this all the way through to the end. Um, yeah, I'm excited for this year. I think that I have definitely watched and seen a lot of things, tried to prevent a lot of tragedies myself in this community. And for the most part, it does break my heart to see all of this. Um, it breaks my heart. It breaks my spirit, really, because I've gone through it too. I've gone through bad experiences, bad doctor's visits, all of it, and it can be mentally draining to the point where it gets to become physically draining. And I just don't want that for myself. I don't want that for anybody. Um, I just really, I should have been a therapist, but I didn't want to go to school that long. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be so real with you right now. I am really good at it. I just don't got time for all that. So, as someone who just want to help people, this is my way to do it, and I'm glad that um, the dynamic duo. You see us. We're conquering it in our own ways, but it's really something that needs to be done. And I feel like a lot of the times patients, they're asking for saviors or solutions when truly you can save yourself. And I know it sounds like, oh, but it's so much. If you really look at it from a point of no one else is coming, like you got to want it more than anyone else wants to save you, because no one's going to want to save you more than you want to save you. So if you get that in your heart, I hope it sizzled in your spirit just a little bit what I said, because I truly think that, you know, all of it collectively can truly make a change in this community. And all in all, that's really what we're here for. We're here to help change things and help people, get to the next level of understanding of self. So that maybe these doctors can actually, maybe understand this as well at some point. So, um, yeah, that's pretty much what I have planned, all that I can think of. There are some things that are coming up. I'm not gonna share too much, but thank you, Deborah. I will add you. I have to add you as a friend and then add you to the group because I don't think we're friends. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just had that to say. I don't really have much more to say other than Happy New Year to everybody that didn't get the Happy New Year from me, and just take it easy on yourself. Provide yourself that grace and that love, and educate yourself more in every way possible. In every way possible. Because this is, unfortunately, it's a new world right now, and we don't know how long we're going to be living it. And it may never be the old world again, which I'm pretty sure it's not. It is not going to be. There's a 2020 and the before. Like there's never going to be, oh, it went back to normal. There is no normal anymore. This is got to be some resemblance of a normal. You have to find where you fit. And I know mentally, it 2020, I know it beat me up mentally, but I fought back. So I know it takes a lot to be in a space that I'm finding myself in right now. And I just want that for everybody. I truly do. So, yeah. Anything else you want to add, Marissa? I know we were supposed to be here for an hour. About 40 minutes we've been on here.
Uh, I mean, for the most part, no, I think that's kind of it. We want we've been in this process of sort of coming to you through the screen, as I started saying last year, not just being these people that you see, um, but actually setting up programs and finding programs uh, to help patients and caregivers to become a part of. So it's not just the things that we're talking about anymore, but we're actually saying, here's the resource. And yeah, so if it's cooking, exercise, juicing, learning to learning about the new treatments that are currently uh, on the market and those that are in the pipeline, or if it's um, learning, like I said, to be a better advocate, to be a better communicator, so you can gain better treatment, or if all else fails, how do you report the people that are working with you? Because clearly, just saying somebody, it's wrong for you to label me. It's wrong for you to just make decisions about who I am and what kind of care I need without reading my chart, without speaking to me. And nobody thinks that, or rather, nobody cares that they're doing wrong. Then at some point, now you have to reach outside of that two entity dynamic and say, okay, we're going to bring somebody in to help. So if I am not enough, if your patient is not enough to say, it's not enough for your patient to say, this is not working. You and I are not working. I need help. And they're being ignored. Then I don't know. I really, I don't know. There's something deeply wrong with the culture of medicine today. It's deeply wrong. And as you say, no one is going to save us but us. Nobody understands our experience but us and the people who've lived through it and are living with it. And unfortunately, I think our medical system, yes, it's very stretched right now. I'm not denying that. However, it would seem to me that if you're inundated with a hospital full of patients who don't know what's wrong with them and who have never been to a hospital and who are looking to their nurses and their doctors for guidance on every level, in my mind, it would be refreshing, to have a patient come in and be like, look, I already know. I already know this is what we need to do. This is how we need to do it. And I'm good. You don't have to explain to me how to get food. You don't have to explain to me who comes and cleans the room. You don't have to do those things. I grew up in hospitals. It would seem to me that you would want to see that patient come. Prior to the pandemic, it would seem to me that you would want to see that patient coming, the patient that knows why they're there, knows what they need, so that as doctors and as nurses, you don't have to work overtime trying to find answers. But apparently, I'm a different type of person, and that's just not the case. But I am very, very pleased to say that um, there is a group, a small group, a growing group of medical professionals that are beginning to stand up and are beginning to say this is not okay. The racism in medicine needs to be confronted. The personal bias in medicine needs to be handled. And shout out to ASH, who just had their national conference. And a great majority of that conference was dedicated to those things, dedicated to ending racism in medicine, dedicated to helping doctors and uh, patients to work through their own personal bias and their own trauma that they might be bringing in. Because we know we have trauma. I don't know how long they've been admitting that they also might have trauma. So, and of course, all of that is then connected to the broader mental health. So, um, thank you, Ash, for making those things like the goal of your conference, and for also focusing heavily on sickle cell. And the one major thing that came out of that conference, from my understanding, is they are shouting from the rooftop, one treatment for all is not the answer. You cannot treat sickle cell with a blanket treatment plan and expect to have success. And no, this is not the patient's fault. This is our fault. So I'm very excited about that. Like, yeah,
Okay.
there we go. And we'll be talking about all of this stuff, throughout the year. Well, we're going to be talking about, again, what you can do to prevent being in the hospital. We're going to be talking about um, things like truth in medicine. Why is it that you are punished when you tell the truth? And it's not just us. I mean, that's like a thing across the board. If you walk into a hospital and you say, I broke my ankle, and they say, well, how much do you drink or whatever? Do you do medicinal marijuana or recreational marijuana? And you're very forthcoming with that. A lot of times it's like, oh, okay. And let's try to put you on the Tylenol train.
I wish.
Let's put
I'm
you on the
stopped. I'm not even
cortisol
going
train.
to finish my sentence. I'm not even going to. Okay.
But it's true. These things are happening. And this is the thing though. It's not like nobody is saying that if somebody comes in and they're like, I just came from the club and I had 7 drinks. Oh, and by the way, yeah, I was blazing. That you should not proceed with caution. That's not what I'm saying by any means. I'm just simply saying that when you kind of pour out the whole truth and nothing but the truth, you don't get the cool, calm, collected responses that you do when you're like, nope, everything's fine. Nope, everything's good. Nope, nope.
Mm-hmm.
And that's across the board. Our medical system is set up where we are incentivized when we're not totally and completely forthcoming, and when we are totally and completely forthcoming, we're seen as being problematic. So we'll talk about that. We want to talk about treatments that for some reason they've decided work that don't work. What is it? Gabapentin?
Gabapentin,
My
Toradol.
memory is still missing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
honestly,
I
I didn't
can't.
forgot how to interact on this thing thanks to gabapentin. I can't tell you. I went and saw a movie, y'all. I don't remember the name of the movie.
Yeah, early
No,
2020 was a blur. I was not there.
yeah. Uh, you know, Tylenol, over the counter, Aleve, Ativan, like I mean not Ativan, Advil, like yeah. So we're going to talk about those kinds of things that you know are not going to be as effective, or things that the patient's telling you are not effective, and yet it's like, but no, just try a little bit longer. It'll get better. No,
Yeah, that's the one thing, you know. Um, I'm labeled as a difficult patient, but I'm okay because I'm difficult to run all over. Like doctors like to come and tell you the type of care they're going to provide, and that's just not it's not going to happen with me for the most part. I'm not belligerent, but I'm definitely not going to tolerate anything less than what I know I deserve as care from
Mm-hmm.
hospitals or from doctors in general. And I'm very open to compromise and meeting people halfway in a lot of parts of my life. But I will not compromise with my life. So I think that, when you think about having a compromise, as long as it's understood that your life is in jeopardy, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
this is something that's not going to take you out, you know, then I think most of the times they can get on board. And if they can't, they can get away from you. It is sometimes, easier said than done, but it's definitely something that people need to understand. Your life, I've said this before, your life is non negotiable. You can't negotiate with your life. You can negotiate a lot of things, but not your life. Not your life.
Mm-hmm.
And don't don't expect, you know, I'm sorry. I just the outside place of my house right now. I don't know if y'all see my face, but I keep looking over. It's because there's a lot going on outside. It has not been this noisy in I don't know how long. And today of all days, I don't know if y'all heard the dogs and all these things
Uh,
happening. But
yeah.
okay. I'm just like,
Okay.
what just happened? Uh that really took my attention. I just wanted to say that. I know, you know, we all have our own standards of care and what we think should happen. Um, but the truth of the matter is it's okay to be labeled as difficult. Don't take that the wrong way. That's what it all boils down to, what I was trying to say. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being the difficult patient. They come in, they
Mm-hmm.
said you are difficult. I am difficult. I am difficult in the ways that matter. In all the other ways, I'm very easygoing. I'm a great listener. I laugh with my nurses and the doctors, and we have a good time. But when it comes down to it, I'm not negotiating with my life. My life, non negotiable. So
Yeah.
they can take it how they want to, but it's just what it is. And when people say, "Oh, I thought you were going to be difficult," oh, sounds about right. That sounds exactly it. I'm glad that you feel that way. I thought you were going to be difficult, and I thought you were going. Let me not say that. I just want people to understand that it's okay to be difficult in the ways that count. You don't got to be difficult every step of the way, but in the ways that matter, it's okay. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not I'm willing to die on that hill. Okay, I'm standing there and I ain't moving. So, with that being said, I don't see any more comments. I don't know if people have tried to comment because like the on the actual Facebook comment stopped a long time ago versus in the chat box on the program. I see a few more comments, but if you have commented past this point and you just feel like we're not answering, don't take it personal. I really don't see anything else. Like if you're like, oh, they're not answering back. I don't know if it's just the program or if people that are watching are just watching and they don't have anything else to add or say, and that's fine too. Um, but yeah, uh, I just had to say that because I don't want people to think that we're over here being rude and not paying attention to what they're saying. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can only see so many comments on the Facebook, and then on here it stops again. So what do
Oh,
you do?
okay. Well, we will see y'all here Wednesdays, 5 p.m. ish. We're gonna do our best to be here at 5 p.m. Uh, Also, we're changing things up this year. We're doing a lot more pre-recorded, um, edited shows. So get ready for that. That'll be interesting. And a lot more just sort of, I don't know, I call them pop-up talks. I've been engaged in Twitter for the last 6 months because, that's where our doctors and nurses live. We live on Facebook, they live on Twitter, trying to like bridge that. Um, and Twitter has a new um, thing where you can just start talking and invite your followers and whomever to join in the conversation. So I guess it's like a Discord sort of a situation, but it's very interesting. So pop-up talks, and yeah, it's going to be a good year. I think it'll be a very very good year if we could
It's gonna
just
be a
get
great year.
if we can just get the everything technically to get together because I can't really hear and I can't see anything. So if you're wondering why is she just sitting there, 'cause it's delayed. I can't. So here we are.
We made it through the whole thing. We're at exactly 56 minutes and 53 4 5 seconds. So you did great because I would have just been here annoyed, and you it really matched up perfectly. Although you could not hear or see me, I don't think if you would have ever said anything, they would have known personally. So yeah, see that's how this works here. We can do what we can. Um, yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, it's gonna be a great year. I can feel it. It's gonna be like one of the best years. I feel like I don't know, something in the air. We just need to take our power back and do what's necessary, and just on all across the board, just let it be. You know, and I feel like as long as we do that, we're gonna be great, all of us. Um, so yeah, look forward to that. Look forward to us. Look forward to everything that's coming in the near future. I'm so excited. I'm super excited. And until next time, I will leave you with my words of wisdom. And then Marissa can say hers. Or would you like to say yours first since you can't hear me? Since it's a delay.
I kind of forgot them.
It's been that long. Leave people in places. How do I
Oh
know?
yeah. Leave people in places better than you found them, and you will be better too. Okay, guys. Okay. That's that gabapentin though. We're gonna talk about it. That's that gabapentin.
All right, guys. Until next time, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. All right, guys. Peace.